Yo, what's up, guys? Are we live? Let me know if my mic's working. Third Coast Roots. What up, family? Movement. What up, bros? Root Fire. Yeah, so this is a Root Fire. The first backstage music lesson is a Root Fire. Thanks for having me, Kevin Officer from Stick Figure. Big up yourself. Big up Root Fire. I've been loving these live streams, man. It's been giving us something to do, something to watch. I know we all want to be at a show. I know I do. There's nothing like live music, the experience, but we're doing what we can right now. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Mr. Del Muro, Nick, Jupiter misses you. Yeah, Jupiter, Florida, man. That's always a good time. Kevin, cool, man. They can hear me. Mic's working. Iya Terra, what's up, boys? Hello? I miss you guys. Fuck. Yeah, so we're doing a Q&A, answering questions. It's production related, music production related, mostly songwriting. If you got any for me, drop them in the comments and I'll answer. I did post about it like a week ago and I got a handful of comments written down that I'm gonna answer right now. So I'm just gonna get to that. If you got any questions, drop them in the comments. All right, so first question we got at DJ Rasta from Instagram. How long do you typically spend recording one entire song? That's a good question. Man. Recording a song, I guess, I try to get a rough recording of the tune down in the first couple sessions. Something super easy just to write lyrics to. But man, it takes from inception to production, it could be almost a year, where once I write the song and then I lay vocals down and I listen to it, spend time away from it, come back to it, then I'll final track everything. So all the stuff I've been listening to is like a scrum at points. I spend a few months with the song, just listening to it, and then I come back and I track the final takes. And yeah. Good question though. So yeah, I would say, man, like probably a year for the whole song. Question number 2, at Ross Turo, are you Rastafarian? I get this question a lot. Yeah, I would say if you listen to my lyrics, you have a good understanding of my head's at. I guess my background to that could be, I grew up practicing Greek Orthodox. I went to church. My family was Greek Orthodox. We were in Utah. Went to church every Sunday, and I remember one time particularly, there was an Ethiopian Orthodox family that came to one of the services and introduced themselves to me, and I was very interested, in what was going on and how many different types of Orthodox there was, as far as religion goes. And later down the road, I got into reggae music, and it kind of bridged the teachings of, like, there was so many similar teachings in Rastafarianism and Eastern Orthodox, which I was growing up in, because a lot of Rastas are Ethiopian Orthodox. So I've been tying the roots together with that my whole life, and I've gotten a little farther away from the whole religious aspect of everything. I'm spiritual, and I believe Rastafari I pull so much inspiration and wisdom from Rastafari, but I also pull from anywhere. I don't like to put myself in like a label or categorize myself as anything. I don't practice any religion except what works for myself, because every spiritual journey should be personal for yourself, not to suit anybody else, you know. So yeah, I pull a lot from Rastafari and from Buddhist teachings and from my Greek Orthodox roots, and I try, still ever learning, you know, I'm still trying to tie those roots together and figure out this purpose. Yeah. Let's check these comments real quick. Hey mama. Oregon grown. Nick, new album is great. This is Brantley from Oregon. Met you in Portland. Bless up, Brantley. I appreciate that, bro. Tafar, I would totally buy a vinyl copy of Foundation. Yes, bro, I'm working on it. You know, I posted about it yesterday to see how many people would actually buy it, and we got plenty. So I'm gonna do that soon. Yeah, big up everyone for that support too. It's vinyls aren't cheap, you know. So I'm doing all this independently, and it takes time. I got brand new merch on the merch store. It's nicksefakismusic.com. Just got a restock of CDs. I got t-shirts and stickers for sale. But keep an eye out for vinyls and women's tees coming soon. Yeah. Big up to Farai. At what point did you realize you can make your passion into a career? Anthony 7777. I think the moment that I hit up, I was a fan of Iya Terra before I joined the band, you know, and I hit up Nate. One morning I was laying in bed and I just woke up and was going through my posts, and I saw that he posted and was looking for a guitarist and a singer, or a guitarist, you know, and a backup singer. So I hit him up and I was like, yo, let's make this happen. I want to link up. And, you know, it was a long shot. But the more I saw the opportunities arise, I just kept taking them. And then all of a sudden, you know, I moved to California, and right when I made that move, it was kind of like committing, you know, to like, I'm going to make this work. I'm going to do something. You know? So I'm just trying to been sitting at the studio, building this studio, trying to master some sort of craft, you know, of music making, and found my sound since then. And so many beautiful opportunities have came. So I got to big up my Iya Terra family every time, you know, every time. Yeah. Let's see. Good question. John M, love the new music. Bless, John. Yeah. Did you write the Hold a Vibe song, Oregon Grown? Yeah, I came with the first rhythm, you know, of Hold a Vibes, like a rough take here. Like I said, when I'm making music, I'll do a rough take first of everything. Showed it to the boys, and I retracked it with Nate. Yeah, and we split the credits, and yeah, Hold a Vibes, man. That was a fucking fun song. The vocals were recorded in a hotel room on tour on a mic stand that was a lamp, because we didn't have a mic stand. So we put our mic on, we took a light bulb off a lamp and just put it on the lamp stand and recorded it. But the response from that's been fucking dope. So I appreciate that. Yeah, glad y'all dig it. Let's see what else we got. What are some of the bands that influence you in your music? John M. Yeah, Akebeka is one of them, heavily. Von Benjamin, rest in peace, he passed away last year. Midnight and Akebeka is number one for me. Bob Marley and the Wailers, number two. The bands here in the scene I've been listening to a lot is Tribal Seeds, Soja, ever since day one. The Movement, big up you guys, Stick Figure. Very cool to be a part of this now. Bands I listen to now from Jamaica right now is like Chronix, Protege, Coffee, That Camp, just blasting things apart. It's great to see that shit. There's so much good reggae, man. So, yeah, I could go on and on about influences. What are you smoking on during quarantine, Third Coast Roots? Lots of good weed, man. I've been going through all kinds of different strains right now. I'm just trying to, indica for sure. Yeah, I think I got Wedding Cake right now or some shit. But Purple Punch is my go-to, man. Let's see. Man like Devin, what up, my G? Been watching your fucking live tunes and singing harmonies too. I wish there was a way we could join forces and sing some tunes together live. But yeah, big up. I appreciate you doing all the music for Root Fire right now and keeping us entertained. We miss you, bro. Yeah. Bless up. There is so many different variations of Rastafari. It's interesting. Artur, Tatar. Yeah, man, that's a good point. I think there's a modern day generation that I meant to say that I would classify myself maybe as like if I had to classify myself as my spiritual practices, I would say more of like a modern day Rastafarianism with that. Maybe not as orthodox practice on it as some may have or expect me to have, you know. But yeah, that's a good point, man. I second the vinyl idea. Yeah, bro. Cool. I gotta hook you up with one of them. Devin Johnson, what is your process for recording a new song? I have someone asked me that too in the comments that I have written, but I'll answer right now. Devin Johnson, big up. So the process for recording a new song for me, I kind of went about it earlier, but more in detail is I like to get my drum beat set down first. I like to just get like a fat, easy, heavy drum beat, you know? Like if it's gonna be a rockers, just start with something easy like that. If it's gonna be a one drop, start with something that sounds good, just about simple. And then I write chords to it on a piano generally, which is, you know, it's like I'm a guitarist, so sometimes I'll go to my guitar, but I find myself writing chords on the piano first, and then I will track bass. So you got drums, bass, and keys going with that organ. And then from there, yeah, man, then I track the guitar and the melodic stuff happening. But and after that's all there, I'll go back to that simple drum beat that I laid down, that simple but heavy drum I was talking about. And that's where you start making it feel more like a person's playing, you know, less robotic. That's when I'll start spending time on the drums and add fills, and I'll add hi-hat variations and drops, rhythm drops, and drums and basses and stuff like that. But don't start with all that shit. It makes it way too complicated, man. Like if you hear something right off the bat, go for it. But like, don't be afraid to just lay something simple down, man. Like don't be afraid to think simple and just lay something fat and heavy down. And because the foundation of so much roots reggae is just dry and heavy and simple, man. And just you find the pocket. And so yeah, don't overthink it. Just play what sounds good to you, man. Good question. Let's see. Nicola Porcia, what is it like to sing the Kazakh national song with your brethren? Do you prefer alto, tenor, soprano? Yes, Akbar! That's for my brethren. We all speak in gibberish on the road, and we love Borat, and we just kind of adapted our own version of Borat's language to our vocabulary. Fuck, I love you, Nick. Mr. Del Muro, what's your dream tour? Shit. Chronics, right now I would love to tour with Chronics, Protege, Alberosi. That would be fat. Shit. Iya Terra, why do you... Yeah, man. Why do you prefer the... I'm not even gonna read that. I can't promote Carl's Jr., bro. Yo. Treehouse respect, my G's. Yeah. Reese Brothers, what's up, guys? Which reggae producer would be a dream for Iya to work with? Shoo. Fuck. Pana from Hawaii is just fucking killer. Tippy from Virgin Islands, he produced a lot of the high grade stuff. He's killer, man. The whole Zion I Kings crew would be lit. Drew Keys is another one. Ian Young, the Brethren. Yeah, there's so many good producers, man. List goes on. We've been blessed to work with a few pretty dope ones, you know, super dope. But there's some mixes we actually sent to producers we really dug, and I don't know, just it wasn't what we expected, you know. So sometimes the best option is just to do what you hear. No one can hear the song like you do, even if they have enough titles to their name. You can spend a bunch of money on your song and it still won't sound as good as you want sometimes. So it's good to learn for yourself what you like to do and learn what's going on, so you can at least describe to them verbally what needs to happen to get it to your liking, you know. Communication is key when working with other producers. Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, as Rootfire says, we are collecting donations. Anything you want to donate, I would appreciate that. More love. Yeah. Appreciate all the bits on the album. Yeah, just bought Pana's drum samples from the Reese Brothers. Yeah, dude. I just made a song with it the last couple of days. I've been building a kit that I like from Pana. So Pana, big up yourself. Big up all the producers sharing sounds. That's a fucking great fucking thing. It's a great thing for aspiring producers to keep their finger on the pulse of, is follow other producers doing it, support them, because some of them do dope shit and they release sound packs. And my last album I did, Book of Scripture, was, there's a loop in there. I think it's a drum loop with like a layered synth behind it in the song Book of Scripture. That's a Teflon zinc fence drum loop that I bought from his kit, you know, and I just kind of skew it and you make it your own. So big up Teflon from Jamaica. Teflon the Don. He's Grammy nominated. Check him out, man. He's also doing great works. Would love to work with him at some point too. Yeah. Let's see it. Kevin Officer. When you have a new musical idea, how do you go about deciding if you're going to bring it to Iya Terra or keep it on the solo side of things? I'm still figuring that out, you know. This was my first solo album, so, but I usually am just making music at home. That's what I like to do. I'll take a song that I think fits the Iya Boys and I'll show them. Last record I showed them Young Dread and Hold the Vibes. Those are the two I felt like most solid about, you know, that I had almost done and ready to show someone. And yeah, man, it was kind of back and forth, and then we just decided to run with Hold the Vibes, and I love how it turned out. And like the Iya Terra sound just really made it, like, it just brought that song out, which was fucking dope. And then Young Dread, I just ended up keeping on my album, and there's no rhyme or reason to why, you know, one or the other. It was just kind of like Nate hit me up one time and was like, yo, I see Hold the Vibe. I have like a vision for it, for Iya Terra and stuff like that. And I was like, word. I just ran with that. It was a cool like flicker of inspiration, you know. So those organic things I like to jump on, you know. And so that was the one. And then it's funny because Young Dread is my #1 stream song on my album now. So I'm stoked about that. So good thanks. Yeah. Good question, Kevin. Ricky Hernandez, did you ever struggle with finding your own sound? Yeah, I mean, I feel like being a musician is like an ever-evolving quest to find what you sound like, right? So, yeah, I mean, there's times where I struggle, but I asked my homie Braden last night, I was like, are you at a point where you can, where you know when you're making something that sounds good, you know? Like, because I feel like I got to a point right before I released, when I was writing my last album, I was like, you're always kind of nervous about what people are going to think and this and that when you release music for the first time. And then when I was making it, the last album, it got to a point where the songs were coming on, I'm like, yo, this sounds good. Like, I don't need any external gratification, you know, like I'm stoked, you know. So it started sounding good, and then I'll make things sometimes that I'm not vibing with, and I feel myself forcing too much. So I'll just back off that song and maybe go to another song. And like the best songs that I feel that I connect with the most just kind of come out organically, you know, without too much pushing. So yeah. Love the band heckling. It's good to see all these bands in here, man. I appreciate the support. We're gonna see you on the road again real soon, hopefully. This shit's crazy. Tim Balahaya, congrats on the solo album. Respect, man. Root Fire, do you have any daily practice routines or music exercises you do? Yeah. I think the best way for myself that I've always learned music is jamming songs I like live. I think scales firsthand is a great exercise for guitarists. Let me see that question again. Doing daily practice routines. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I do scales daily, although I should. I find myself, if I want to play guitar now at this point in my career, I turn on a song I dig and jam to it and try to mimic what they're doing, because I learn by ear pretty well, so I just love to jam along, and I'm surprised at how much music itself teaches you, you know what I mean? If you're looking into technicalities, I'll watch classes sometimes, and in production and stuff, I'll put myself through like online classes, you know, YouTube stuff, like free stuff. No need to pay for like too much of that shit, because like so much of it is on YouTube. I just put myself through classes sometimes and figure out the technicalities I'm searching for. But yeah, usually it's just organic, and I like to just jam to music, and I learn that way. Making music, trial by error, is the best way to do it. You know, I'm always sitting here producing music, so I'm always learning. Every song, every fucking minute that you're spending in the song, you learn so much. Good question. Devin Johnson, how do you go about writing your lyrics? So I like to, like I said, I like to get a scratch rhythm laid down, the whole structure, 4-minute song or however long it's going to be. When I'm writing and structuring it out, here where like the guitar intro, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, you know, I'll structure something like that, simple. I'll bounce it out, and I like to have it in my Dropbox on my phone, all my rhythms, so that I can write on my own time, throw a headphone in, and go and have smoke a spliff and just write some lyrics. The best time for me to write lyrics is just go have a smoke and sit down and think and write some lyrics outside. Anything inspires lyrics. Sometimes I'll go out for a jog and like come back with something to write, you know, something on my head. It's cool, man. Yeah. But lyrics wise, Christos, my brethren Christos DC taught me a lot about actually writing lyrics. I did a song with him called Rise Up a couple of years ago. It was one of my first solo releases, and he came over to my house and we had a studio session, and he came in, listened to the track, and he said, cool, play that through one more time. And he went and sat outside with his pen and paper, and he wrote lyrics. And then I went out there, and he said, sometimes the best thing to do is write more than you think, you know, write your thoughts out. And then he said, subtract words from that and simplify it and give it a melody, you know. And it doesn't always have to be like crazy rhyme structure schemes and stuff like that. It's like, I think that's a really good thing to remember, especially for hooks. I like to write hooks first and then build the song. For hooks, like melodic, simple, catchy. That's the 3 things you gotta remember about a hook. Like melodic, simple, catchy. Revolution just crushes that shit as far as like his guitar melodies and stuff. Eric's just like super, and his vocal melodies, like got the whole, it's like the whoa, oh, whoa, oh, whoa, oh, that stuff is like very simple, but it's so catchy and people want to sing that, you know. So that's a great musical mind right there. Big up Eric. Are you planning a show after the pandemic is over, as in your show, Arthur? I was planning some solo stuff for when you know, it's always when you have a break from tour with Iya Terra, I was looking to book a few shows from Salt Lake, Vegas to California. It's like an album release tour, you know? And then the whole fucking pandemic hit. I was literally in contact with people about it, trying to start brewing the idea up, you know, and get something together. But at some point it'll happen, you know? Touring with Iya Terra, like we're super busy, and that's the number one priority, you know? The music I make and release is more of a product of my off time. But I do definitely want to play shows, you know, full band style and do it right. So stay tuned for that, because once all this shit is over, it's definitely gonna happen. Good question. Artney, what is your favorite genre of music outside of reggae? Favorite bands? I've been I've been into hip hop my whole life. When I first started producing music, when I was like 15, my dad had a MacBook in the house, in the office, and he actually bought me that keyboard when I was like 15, and it's a MIDI keyboard, and I used GarageBand, and I just started making hip hop beats. I was like I was downloading mixtapes from like DatPiff and LimeWire at the time, and just blasting his computer with viruses. I'm sorry, Dad, but I love music. I would go sit there as a hobby, and I like to like hear the new shit, you know, that was coming out, download it, and try and make beats like that. And then I ended up getting into reggae music, and the first reggae song I made was like, it was pretty bad. I'm pretty sure it's still on the. I'm pretty sure it's still somewhere on YouTube. But you know, I showed someone in my apartment, some girl, and she was like, "Yo, this is really good. You should keep doing this." And I was like, "Whoa, people like reggae." I was like, "Okay, that's cool." Like, you know, and so it was some positive reinforcement. And I actually started a band. I was like posting on Craigslist, and I started a band called the Rocksteadies in Utah. And yeah, it's been that's good days, man. Bless. I got carried away with that one. What is your favorite genre of music? Hip hop, definitely. Neo soul, Anderson .Paak, like all that shit. The Free Nationals, super dope. The Chronics linked up with them. Pink Floyd, psychedelic rock, blues music lately. Lots of blues music. I produced a new blues track from my quarantine bestie, Braden Waiters, and it's available everywhere right now. It hit number 10 on the iTunes blues chart. So it was my first production as a producer to like chart in a different genre, in the blues genre. So that was fucking sick. And that was also fucking sick for my boy Braden. You know, it was his first release ever. So appreciate all you who went and listened to it. He's gonna jam it later. I'm gonna jam a couple songs later, and my boy's gonna jam that one for you later as well. So stay tuned. Yeah, big up Rasta Girl, bless. South Florida, John M. Man, we hope we can come back soon. Sounds like y'all are gonna open up pretty soon. So we'll see. Chicago. I'm gonna finish some of these questions from the Q&A that I posted. Let's see, where were we at? Patrick Dooley says, "What's the craziest thing you've experienced on the road?" Oh God. Every tour is the most crazy whirlwind of emotion and experiences you can think of. It's kind of unimaginable if you're not doing it, you know? So it's hard to explain. There's so many. I don't know if they're PG. I don't know if I could dip into that. I guess I could think of one. Like we went to a gas station one time, and in the middle of nowhere, and the one guy that was working it's a sad story, you know, but he was super, he was gone on some shit, and he was falling asleep at the register, and we had someone come in, like a nurse, like there's a male nurse that was like off duty and came in and like totally like scorned him for being on, you know, on something during his job, and like, it was just a crazy turn of events. There's been a couple crazy fans on tour, of course. You can expect some. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into some of that shit. Let's go to Ross Jimbo. Ross Jimbo. What was the first thing that sparked your interest in reggae music and Rastafari? I remember playing college football at Snow College, and in my dorm room, everyone would always listen to rap music, and I was just a lot, you know, and it was the same songs I was hearing all the time, and I just started playing reggae music because it was different. I still remember playing just the early fucking like Peter Tosh early cuts. It's when I discovered Tribal Seeds. I downloaded every single Tribal Seeds song the first time I heard of their band. That was like an instant click. I really liked that, you know. Big up Steve and Louie and Daniel and Zeb, Shams, the whole camp, yeah. True inspiration. They definitely helped spark my interest. And the Peter Tosh's song Legalize It sparked my interest in herb heavily, which led me to, started smoking herb when I was playing football in my dorm room. And those are some fun experiences, you know, trying to keep that on the DL. And it was a super Mormon campus and shit in Utah, so it was just like, it was frowned upon. I had knocks at my door like, yo, this shit is loud. You guys need to calm down. And it was good times, good memories, man. I was just that guy that was a stoner smoking weed and playing reggae when I wasn't at practice. And it just, I wanted to make something out of it, man. I got attracted to it. I would say herb, and then the meditation that herb gave me really helped me learn myself and, you know, give me this spark to like find some spirit, you know. Good question. Zion Music at Instagram, Zion Music. How do you program the drums in lion order? Yeah, that's a good question. I'm personally stoked as fuck on that song. Elliot from John Brown's Body is the nicest dude ever, man. Super big musical inspiration for me. So big up yourself, Elliot. John Brown's Body. More fire coming soon. Be prepared. How did I program the drums in lion order? Man, I can't remember what plugins I use for sure, but it's all on the MIDI. You know, I just programmed a beat that I liked. I started with the drums in that song, with the drums and the 808. Pretty sure it's a single note bass line that whole time. It was super hip hop inspired. I might have started that song as a hip hop song, to be honest. And then I just laid some fat skanks over it and realized this is gonna be a reggae song, you know. So and then I toned the hip hop drums back a little bit, cut them up a little to fit that reggae feel a little bit, and I pulled a lot of inspiration from the song Gunsmoke on that one, as far as the rhythm goes, from Tribal Seeds. It's a big one-note bass line. Yeah. So yeah, I spent a lot of time. So there's two different hi-hat tracks. One of them's over here, one of them's over here. And this one over here is that super like the trap hi-hat. So that comes in on that right side a lot. And yeah, just start with a fat drum beat, man. Next question at Zerata Michael. Solo tour in the works. Yeah, I answered that one already. We're trying. As I said before, there's not much we can do as far as touring right now. So stay tuned though. Let's see. At We Are AOT. Are you a clean or messy person? Well, I'm a clean person, I would say. I think creativity is like, as far as keeping my studio space clean, and I feel like it's really conducive to creativity to have a clean space, you know. That your outer sorts reflect the inner sorts enough time. So I like to keep it fairly in order, you know. Might leave my dishes in the sink once in a while. Don't ask my roommates if I'm a clean or messy person, but I feel like I'm a pretty clean person. What's going on in here? Man like Devin, have you ever thought about making a mixtape similar to how Chronix did the Roots and Chalice mixtape? The way he would use old Jamaican rhythms to sing his own original lyrics over would be dope. Yeah, man. Um, thought about making, yeah, you have to, I think they just do that on like SoundCloud releases, right? Because I don't think you can monetize stuff like that. But yeah, dude, that would be killer. I've also thought about making a rhythm mixtape with like the same rhythm, like kind of like how Kylie Roots is doing, but with a rhythm of mine. But yeah, dude, a mixtape similar to Chronix, Roots and Chalice, that'd be really fun. Pretty down. Might just do that. Anything to incorporate and keep that culture alive, I'm 100% with. And there doesn't seem to be a lot of that in the States right now, so definitely. Good question. Collected Culture, my boy David G, merch extraordinaire, Iya Terra's merch god. Why are you and Braden so scared to play me in NBA 2K and insist on only playing Madden in RV? Yo, dude. Come on, Dave. You don't want me to say that you never beat me live, right? You never beat me. All right. We play a lot of games. I miss you, Dave. Big up. Go check my boy Collected Culture. Keeping the culture alive. True. Good questions, my G's. I'm going back to these. Let's see what else we got. At Drew Jitsu. Who are your favorite bands, musicians to tour with? Man, we've had some blessed tours over the years. Right off the top is Still Paul's Tribal Seeds, and Ziggy Marley was on a few of those shows. That was crazy. We were first to four at sometimes, but watching Steel Pulse and Tribal Seeds every night was just like, shh. And the venues were just dope. The Stick Figure tour, of course, that blew my mind. Like the crowds, specifically the crowds on that tour, blew my fucking mind. Just how into it they were, and like just the Stick Figure, I was like, yo, this is happening for them. And so that was a blessing to be a part of. The Tribal Seeds and Steel Pulse tour was the most like, what's happening right now? It's kind of tour. There was a moment where I think David Hines is going to be on here in a couple of days. But there's a moment I was walking by the bus, one of the first shows. I was walking by the Steel Pulse bus, and their door was open, and I just said, "Yo," and I walked back. I was like, "No way!" And I look in the bus, and David Hines was eating some dinner, sitting in the driver's seat of their bus, and was like, "Come on in here." And I was like pretty nervous, I was like, this is one of my favorite musicians. I sat down in Shotty in the bus next to him, and he asked me some questions and dropped some wisdom on me. And what a crazy time, it's a time I'll cherish forever. He's a great guy. He's full of wisdom, and he's a born leader for sure. Yeah. So that's probably the Fortunate Youth tour was pretty insane. They took us on like our first national tour, so I got love for the Fortunate Youth boys too. Mad love. The Movement, that tour was rad. Arise Roots. Everyone we've toured with, Soja, everyone we toured with, it's been fucking dope. Iration. It's hard to pick a favorite, man, but good question, Jiu-Jitsu. And you also had another question. How do you approach writing songs for Foundation versus writing songs for Iya Terra? And I think I answered that earlier too. A little bit, I touched on that, but yeah, as I just write music, man, and I think that's what we all kind of just trying to write music and make good sounds. And when we decide this song is for Iya Terra, we're all gonna put our minds and our effort into it, make it sound like our own, But they can't all be Iya Terra songs. They can't all be my songs. It's just finding the balance. It's all situational with every song. It's a good question though. Leia's Mama 222. What was the first instrument you picked up, and at what age? The first instrument I picked up was a guitar at age 8. My mom gave me the option of playing guitar or piano, and She said, I know this doesn't matter right now, but chicks really dig guys that can play the guitar. And I guess that was enough to sell me at that age on the guitar. So I started playing guitar and taking lessons with my dad for like 4 years. And then he ended up kind of like stopping the lessons because I kind of got a little better than he did and stuff. So yeah, I've been playing music since I was like 8, on and off. You know, there have been years in my growth where I take times out of music until I decided I was gonna make a career out of it. Obviously, you know. But yeah, 8 years old, first guitar. Good question. The next question at BRM562. I'm about to get a guitar. What's the first thing I should learn? Just the open chords, A through, what does it go through? G, A through G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, open chords, man. Just learn what those, how to play those chords and open tuning and go from there. Yes. At Lethal Visionary, best amps for rhythm guitar. Shit. Classically, it's you got the Fender Twin Reverb, which I played on for a long time. I love the sound. Super gainy, high gain, crunchy. That's probably one of my favorites. I rocked the Mesa Boogie Lone Star 2x12 for a long time. That's still super sick to this day. I keep it in the studio, and it was a pretty good tone. It took more work to find the tone I liked on the Mesa than it did on the Fender, from plugging it in and just playing. Now I use a Kemper. It's a profiler, so I don't actually have an amp on stage. They're all profiles. Find myself using a couple Marshall rigs for like heavy distortion sounds, and the Fender Twin Reverb for the clean, yeah. So I think the winner is the Fender Twin Reverb. That's a good question. At Ziwanaba. I don't know if I said that right. What's your favorite part when touring? My favorite part when touring has to be just the camaraderie between the brethren, you know, and sharing those experiences on stage. It's magic. It's indescribable what the feeling is like, you know, driving through the night with your homies in a fucking bus, and then showing up at this venue, working your ass off all day, and then you're on stage for 30 to 90 minutes, and it's the best feeling in the world. It's my favorite part of tour. The next question was, what do you miss most about tour by Tafara? And I think that I answered that with the last question, yeah. What we got going on in the comments real quick? Is there anything specific about the music business that you're completely unprepared for? There's a couple things. There's a touring side of it. How many good musicians never make it because they rage way too hard and get involved in shitty things and don't stay the course with their mental. And 2 is how hard it is to gain access to the money that your songs generate online. That's one of the hardest things. I try and take like music business courses by myself online, you know, just to see what's going on in the business world. It's ever changing, and there's so many resources, and your songs are generating funds. If you have a song that's released that's generating funds by streaming, and if you don't have a label, you probably don't have access to it if you've never done anything. So you should check that out. There's so much to learn on that end. Brandon. Yeah, man. Did your vocal skills come naturally, or do you have any tips on getting a better vocal range when you sing? My vocal skills, I didn't start singing until years and years after I was playing guitar, you know. And when I did start singing, I was super nervous about it. I wasn't like out here impressing people at all. Like there were some homies I grew up with that just had beautiful voices, you know, like from a young age, and it just like they could sit down and play guitar and everyone would woo over them, you know. So I wasn't like one of those voices. So it took me a while when I decided to start singing, especially reggae music. It took me a long while, you know, to I'm still learning a lot, like ever learning, but it took me a long time to find my voice. It took just trial by fire, just recording yourself, listening back to it, being critical, singing live, you know. I feel like your voice is a muscle, you know, so the higher you push it, warm it up by singing. I like to sing in the car, man, and then just push yourself. Don't be afraid to hit some high notes, man. Lots of people can do it. They're just too afraid to do it. Like 50% of singing is a mental block, you know? So the more I sang, the more things I started trying. I love to try things live too, you know? I like to push myself in those moments of like where it's a little scary to do something. I like to try something different because that's when it's either gonna happen or it's not. You're gonna need to work on it, you know? So, but I love that shit. I love to push myself. So just keep pushing yourself, man. Don't ever think you can't fucking sing these certain notes, you know, like just keep working, practice vocal scales from low to high. There's a lot of YouTube vocal scales that we highly endorse. Yeah, man, keep it pushing, just keep singing. Sing what sounds good to you. Dope questions, man. I appreciate all this support. For real. Gee. Let me just say what a pleasure it has been having you a part of Backstage Music Lessons. Everyone has worked with you. Has nothing but good things to say. Yeah, Kevin, I appreciate that, man. Big up Backstage Music Lessons. If you don't know what they are, man, it's Kevin Officer of Stick Figure. He has a whole slew of artists that are in dope ass fucking bands that are giving up their time on tour to teach lessons backstage, you know. So I've had the opportunity to teach many different people, from kids to like fans' kids, you know, and which is to fans to older people. But like the super dope thing to me was like when it's the children, and I taught a kid. It was his birthday. It was his first guitar, and it was his 8th birthday. And it was his first guitar lesson, and it was with me, and it just really reminded me of me. And so to have that opportunity, man, thank you, Kevin, for real. That's some shit that I'll remember forever, you know. So I appreciate you guys. You can book me at Backstage Music Lessons. I'm doing vocal lessons. I'm doing production lessons, guitar lessons. If you want to just chat, yeah, man. Big up, Kevin. Check out all the other artists doing Backstage Music Lessons, man. I'm definitely about to spend some dough on some music lessons with all these new artists that are in here. See what else we got. Yeah, man. Big up, Hope. Much love. More love in this time. Another question from Kevin Officer. How has the experience of teaching lessons on the road been for you? Oh wait, I already read that. And currently, how has it been offering online sessions during the quarantine? Oh, I see. I didn't read that one already. I've only done a couple online sessions, to be honest, man. The first one was a little, you know, it was a learning curve. I was trying to help him get his audio set up correctly and stuff like that. So it's hard when it's something like that. But it's cool, man. There's nothing like in person though. You know, I get a little frustrated when it comes to teaching someone guitar over online. It's a little harder than like production and like reasoning and like or vocal or something like that, you know. But it works. And the other one was good, you know. So it's been a blessing, and the fact that people want to learn from me is such a cool thing. So I'm learning how to do the online version still, you know, the best I can. But the confidence is building for sure. One love, my G. Yeah. Check out One Love's new clothing brand, Razafari Apparel. One Love is one of the dopest people. He's our tour manager. He's one of the dopest humans I've ever met. He's got a huge heart of gold, man. Thank you. And he's a roots head, so I've learned a lot of new music from him. Good guy, man. Hope, favorite female artist. John 9, off the dome. Desiree, the Lovejoys. Juan showed me that band. If I'm not mistaken, the Lovejoys are a UK band, the first all-woman reggae band. If I'm not wrong. You can mistake me. Chula, the mental block, and sing. Yeah, man. Favorite female artist, Hyrie. You know, there's a lot of good female artists emerging. I'm stoked on it. Oh, Holly Cook is another one. Super dope. Skins. Hit us with some acoustic. Yeah, let's do it. Mom, you know you're not a good vocalist. All right, we're gonna start singing some songs. Wait, I'm gonna go through the rest of these and make sure there's not any crazy good questions I need to answer. Okay, there's a couple production questions I feel like I should answer in the name of Backstage Music Lessons. Kelly Graham asked, who plays the music on Foundation? Iya Terra, other musicians, or is it like a Scott Woodruff thing where you do it all? On Foundation, I did a great chunk of it. There's album credits on my Instagram that I posted. It was mainly me. I had a homie, Ryan Cordich and David Young, from a band called Eureka Sound. They came over a handful of times and tracked some keys and guitar on some stuff. Obviously the features wrote their own features, and they wrote the lyrics to that, but you know, all the music on there and all my vocals are me, self-produced album. Yeah, it's been kind of fun just trying to get better at recording and master the craft, and these albums are the outcome of that, you know. It's a good question. Jacob Jensen, what's your opinion on drum triggers for studio and live settings? Yeah, dude. We have the SPDSX, the Roland drum pad. Tanner rocks that live, and we can do enough stuff with that. It's really cool. Drum triggers are dope, dude. Just don't overuse them. And in my opinion, don't use a trigger snare live without the actual snare playing, you know? There's some things where you like, as you're playing the snare, there's a trigger you can have on that snare where you're gonna hit where every time you hit the real snare, it'll trigger the electric snare too, you know what I mean? But if you're just playing, I see some people just playing the snare on their Roland SPD, and it loses so much beef, man. But as far as like the roto toms for the fills, the electric toms and stuff like that, I'm all for that shit. There's classic sounds in reggae music that come from you know, that use those sounds, like the Roland in general, and just to find those and use those is dope. Yeah. Good question, Jacob Jensen. Big up yourself. Andrew Ritchie. Lately, when I'm writing tunes, I'm finding it hard to come up with a catchy hook. How do you find your hook? Do you write off a catchy hook, or do you find that later? As I said earlier, I think I said that I write off hooks generally. The first thing I try and write to a song is a hook, because that to me gives the song a theme overall, and it gives me a hopeful feeling, because if you have a strong hook, there's a good chance you have a good song, you know? So I generally start with a hook. You find it hard to come up with a catchy hook. How do I find my hook? Like I said earlier, I think simple and I think potent. Like the line that you're saying in the hook should be potent, you know? Shouldn't be like, yeah, I'm not gonna sing anything. It should just be potent, you understand? Maybe you take like a quote that you like, or a phrase that you like, or some sort of wisdom, and you put it in your own words, in your own creative sense, And you turn that into a chorus, put a melody behind it. Take a thought that means a lot to you and turn it into a chorus, you understand? Good question though, for sure. Let's see. Ashley Livingston, what is my favorite track on Foundation? That's a hard one, man. I like all the feature tunes are just nuts to me. I'm really thankful to have got those features. Rig Jam from Jamaica. Big up Philip McFarland from Earthcry. He runs a studio out there called IRU Records, and one of his boys out there that he's recording is named Rick Jam, and he's a young cat and he's got a lot of talent. To me, his voice sounds a lot like Chronix, and I just see a lot of good stuff happening with him. So I hit him up, and they were super willing to work on the track "Don't Want Conscious" with me, and he just crushed it. I'm gonna play that one in a minute. Can we expect another solo album in the future? Yeah, of course, most definitely, very soon. I got all kinds of shit in the works right now. You know, been working. I mean, I guess I can say it here, but I've been working with Elliot Martin from John Brown's Body on a handful of more of tunes. We're gonna try and release something together in the near future. So I'm super fucking stoked about how those songs are turning out. And I also have a whole folder full of other songs that I've started. So enough works, but it's just gonna take some time, you know. For now, go stream Foundation and enjoy that, you know. See if we got any more crucials. John Michaels, any chance of collabing with Ian Young on a song or two? Yeah, dude, Ian's the boy. He's got a crazy mad skill set as far as producing music goes, in my opinion. So that's more respect to him every time. I'd love to work with him on a solo tune and with Iya Terra. I think, as my brother Nate announced last time he was on here, is the hopes for our next album, our studio album for Iya Terra, is to get down to Ian Young's studio, and you know, all of us down there making that album live, tracking it live with Ian. I think that'd be a vibes, and looking forward to it. He's a good guy. So for sure, yeah, big up, John. Good question. Rux Collective. I want to become a reggae dub producer, but have no experience. What is the next step? Buy a MacBook, get Logic Pro, and a MIDI keyboard, and then get stoned as fuck, and then sit down and make music, and you'll learn a lot. Let's see here. Wonderbread 95. It's a dope name. Live recorded drums or MIDI? What are some of your favorite plugins? For both. For the Iya Terra sound, for our new stuff, we're trying to go that live drum sound and make like the best live drum sound, in my opinion, right now, like the Nigerians and Tough Gong Studios, of course, like the Damian Marley tracks. Live drum tones need to be fat. If you're gonna use real drums, they need to sound good. They need to be cued properly, and they need to be recorded properly. If that's not gonna happen and you don't have the means to do that, I would say go electronic drums, and you can make. There's so many good electronic drums out there. I use Superior Drummer a lot. I use Splice. I get a lot of sounds and I sample them, and I get them from Splice, or I get them from artist packs. Like I said earlier, when you're keeping an eye on the pulse of like producers in the scene, lots of them release packs, and you take those sounds and you can make them your own a little bit. There's so many ways to do e-drums. You know, I would just learn how to get your build a kit that you like, build a few kits that you like on an electronic kit, and yeah, man. But live drums, if you can buy you can buy stems online to live drums. I've done that a few times. It's a good route just to have that feel, that live feel, that more roots feel, and yeah, man. So many options. Live, if they're gonna be real drums, just make sure you know what you're doing with the EQ and make them sound right. You know. Yeah, that's all the questions I got in this book. I want to check this real quick. John 9, yeah. The Love Johns. Who's your favorite night driver? You already know, baby. Do you listen to Greek reggae? Honestly, honestly don't. Nah. I mean, I got my homie Christos DC is of Greek descent, like myself. I listen to his reggae. I don't know if that constitutes Greek reggae, but as far as like the lyrics being in Greek and like the artists living in Greece and stuff, no, I don't think I do. I don't think I know of any, to be honest. Gobi and Pigel are a couple of my homies, actually, that live in Greece. Go check them out. That's the one band I think I know from Greece. Yeah, respect to them. You're holding the scene in my eyes, you see. I think it's awesome how much fan interaction you guys have. Thanks for sharing with us. Yeah, man. I mean, I think it's awesome how much fan interaction we have too. It's a blessing. I wouldn't be shit without you guys, you know? So I appreciate you. More love. You already gave us the foundation. Get at us with the infrastructure. Oh, Juan. Coming from a Polish reggae background, I love your hip-hop infused reggae. Yeah, man, I think Protege showed me a lot. Damian Marley and Protege showed me that you can infuse hip-hop with reggae at a dope-ass like balance. I like their balance of it. I think it can be corny at times, as can anything. You just have to do it right, you know? So I appreciate it. I appreciate that you like it. I have like a pretty much strictly hip hop song on the album called Truly. It's a little different than what I usually do, but I was just having fun with it, kind of showing my roots back, or my hip hop roots background in that sense, in that song. Yeah, man. Appreciate all these questions. We're gonna start playing some live music right now, though. I'm gonna play a couple acoustic tracks from the album. I'm gonna have my homie Braden play his acoustic track, and then we're gonna be out of your hair. So if you want, as we said earlier, you can leave a donation. You can leave a comment. Either way, much love. It's been great chatting with you guys. It's like the first social interaction we had in so long, so I really appreciate that. Cool, and jam. Big up Taylor Guitars every time. All right, first tune I'm gonna jam for you is Foundation, title track off my latest record. Bless. Sip on that shaky foundation, they build the house upon the sand. Lost I never chop, but now man, a good vibration. Have to keep your head strong in a mind that the lies that pass along. See we no bow, we no wicked man come for fighting on the dance now. Roll up a split and take it easy, we just come for jam. Step on the rhythm, we toast the mic and knock it in a nice flow. Giving praises to the king, him sit upon the throne for too long. For too long, Babylon, them have us living on and on. Yeah, for too long. For too long, they build up a nation upon falling ground. Sit on a shaky foundation, they build the house upon Rasta never trouble now. A good vibration, have to keep your head strong in a mind that the lies that lie. How's the sound quality? Y'all hear me all right? What is a tree without a solid root foundation? Yeah. Even if it looks nice and strong, remember every tree that stands tall eventually will fall if the ground won't let the roots take forward. Sit on a shaky foundation, they build the house upon Rasta never trouble now. A good vibration. Have to keep your head strong in your mind to the light. I said I'm leaving, I was never gonna stay. I said I'm learning and I'm never go astray. Said I may bend, but I will never break. You can bend my branches, but the seeds I already spread. You can try and cut me down, but roots will grow again. Deep in the soil, mother give her nutrients. Educate the youth with no color preference. Give them confidence so they're not living in despair. Oh, sit on a shaky foundation. They build the house upon the sand. Rasta never trouble no man. A good vibration. Have to keep your head strong in our mind to last the pass along. Ain't no mind now, no. Ain't no mind now, no. Ain't no mind now. Sip on the shaky foundation. Yeah, give thanks. Give thanks, yeah, Arthur, Oregon grown. Third Coast Roots, big up. Yeah, tell the kiddos what's up. Cool, man. Will you ever get to play Closer to the Sun? Fuck, I hope so. We love that festival. We would love to do that. We've been keeping it on our, it's our goal. It's on our goal list, you know, for years. Where y'all tuning in from? Leave it in the comments. I want to see where all these peeps are watching from. During that, I'm gonna play you another song. I'm gonna play Young Dread. I'm a young dread. Come for Chadam Babylon again. And again and again. Yeah, man a young dread. Another drag one straight to my head, my head. So what's in this? Too much illusion. If the youth caught up in a confusion, their mind up pollution. See the world atmosphere pressure. Yeah. What's the solution? Now we don't need another try. It's the one life that provided by Selassie. So I live. Learn to forgive, forward consciously. On a young jet. Come for Chadam Babylon again. Charged with murder, whoa. On a young jet. Another drag one straight to my head, my head. So what's in this? Say man a young J. Come for chant down Babylon again. And again and again. Man a young J. Another drag one straight to my head, my head. So what's in this? Yeah, cool. Los Angeles, Chicago, Western Virginia, Eugene, San Antonio, Bradenton, Florida, Houston. Cool, man. Well, it's a good way to spend my morning. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I got one more personal track of my own called Don't Want Conscious, and then I'm going to have my homie step in and play a tune. Bless. Enough for them come to rage, they don't want conscience. I see them twisting in my brain, but not see none of the dreadlocks, no. I see them smoking up the herb and say they are a Rasta man. But they don't use it in a way that promoting a clean meditation, no. But no one's passing information. Hear the rumors and the gossip spreading on your station. What about the status of our living situation? As a family, as a city, as a nation. Change up the topic of everything that you're saying. What that's up in your head, you have a choice if you go see them. Of times we try and speak, never carefully give a listen, and it turns into a state of aggravation. Now for them come to rage, they don't want conscience. I see them twisting in my brain, but not see none of the dreadlock nowhere. I see them smoking up the herb and say they are a Rasta man. But they don't use it in a way that promoting a clean meditation. Big up Rick Jam. Give thanks for your life in every aspect. No, what's not bad that we are progressing. Try to stop and no. Do your own thing and take it step by step. Or you go follow people that don't mean no one. Throw away all your consciousness and think of only vanity. Uplift your morality and try to keep your sanity. Selassie is the way and it speak through my vocabulary. Doing your blessings flow like water from the valley. Keep your meditation grounded and you will flourish. Start up from today and Jah will grant all your wish. Start to do the righteous things and your soul will replenish. All this negativity will make your soul malnourished. No for them come to rage, they don't want conscience, no way. I see them twisting in my brain, but not see none of the dreadlock. I see them smoking up the herb and claim they are a Rasta man, them imposter. But them don't use it in a way that promoting a clean meditation. Yeah. Oh, don't want conscience nowhere, no how. My love, they don't want conscience nowhere, no how. So man, I chanting, man, I just chant, oh, chanting, freestyle and pattern. Don't want conscience nowhere, don't want conscience. Oh, don't want conscience. No way, yeah, that was fun. Good, thanks. Cool, man. What we got? Yeah, good, thanks, man. Can't wait till the rescheduled summer tour. My man's sounding dope right now. Thanks for being the first artist. Yeah, man. Thanks for letting me be the first artist on the Backstage Music Lesson Weekly series, man. I'm stoked to see the rest of them, what everyone else has to bring to the table. I hope that took something away from today. I appreciate the time, man. Let's see what up, Kevin. Can't wait. One more. All right, you insist. My brethren Braden's gonna come sing his song. Think About It. It's available everywhere. Think About It. Braden Lee Waiters. He's my roommate, my quarantine, my longtime homie. Yeah, he's gonna come jam it for you.
Thank you, player. Thank you, player. What's up, everybody? Shout out to Sefakis for letting me play on this joint. Pew, pew, pew. Shout out to all the boys that I see up in the crew. So.
Yeah, Juan. Give my boy Braden some love.
Ain't no worries, baby. Now I left from home. There ain't no food in my kitchen. I guess I'm all alone. It might be a time, baby. Ain't nothing left in my head. Lord, space and time continue. Miles of bloodshot red. But in the meantime, I'll get drunk and I'll get high. I stepped out and they stopped by. Heaven won't save me cause I'm not the type.
No doubt about it.
Death in the hallway that follow the lines.
Make you.
Baby, I bring you back to my spot and we give this a try. And lately, since you've been gone, I've been locked alone in my dark side. And maybe, if you just give me some space, I'll be back in your life. I'm moving forward in time, and I know that we'll be just fine.
Yeah. Big up my boy Braden Waiters. The song's called Think About It. Just produced it for him. Released it. Very first tune. Rager. Big up my boys.
But in the meantime, I'll get drunk and I'll get high. I stepped out and they stopped by. Heaven won't save me cause I'm not the type. Death in the hallway now.
Yeah. Cool, man. If you like that, go check it out. Braden Lee Waiters, my boy. Yeah.
Big ups.
Yeah.
Big ups, family.
Shoot. Bunky. Yes, sir. Braden is our guitar tech as well for Iya Terra. That's his first solo debut ever. Go check it out, man. Yeah. Cool, man. Well, I appreciate all you. I appreciate the time. I appreciate Root Fire. Big up Root Fire. Big up Backstage Music Lessons. Big up Kevin. Big up Reed Foster. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, the whole team. Appreciate everyone in the comments, man. Anyone that's left any donations, anything like that, all the comments. I really appreciate the support, man. Go check out my album, Foundation, if you haven't yet. Keep an eye on the Iya Terra works, man. We got some cool new stuff coming out. You know, we're trying to stay creative in this quarantine time. So really keep an eye on our pages, and we got some cool shit brewing up, you know. Got Cali Roots coming up, online version, of course. But yeah, man, give thanks, Arthur. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, till next time, big up everyone. Go check the merch store, nixsefakismusic.com. Check the album. Show love, wear a smile, ease, settle, and cool. Smoke some weed. Find a good meditation during this time. Be creative. This ain't the end of anything. This is the start of something beautiful. So find the positive, and let's all fucking blow up together, yeah? Let's make a bunch of good music. Let's make a bunch of new friends. And let's treat each other and the world how it should be. I love you guys, and we'll see you very soon. Bless.